the stat sheet, and even the game for that matter. What I would like to talk about is how proud I am of the young men in our program. When we set out to recruit guys, we talked to them very clearly about how hard this is going to be, the adversity, the challenges, and the things that every single day that they're going to have to bring their best. And every single day, sick, tired, hurt, sore, you name it, we're right back to work. And we talk to their families about it, and we make sure that they understand if they're to come into our program, that there's standards in all aspects of life, not just on the basketball court. And those standards start in the classroom. And I'm extremely proud of the young men in our program because we set another record in terms of GPA with a 3.39 as a team GPA. And we had 6 of our 14 that made the dean's list. And I know there's so many things that people talk about in college athletics and what's changed and what's different and all these things. And what I'd say is the young men in our program deserve a lot of credit, a lot of praise, and a lot of respect for what they do every single day and how they work. Because in the classroom, we've consistently been over a 3.0, but when you're breaking records in the classroom with a GPA like that, it speaks to the character of the young men in our program. It speaks to their families and the foundation. When everybody asks the question sarcastically, does academics still matter? Yes, it matters. It's extremely important. The families in our program know that. The players in our program know that. And they understand that that is every bit as important as anything we do beyond that. The second piece is who they are as citizens, who they are as people. The amount of emails, texts, calls, people that pull me to the side and talk about how our guys do such a great job in the community and how they treat people, that means everything to me. As much as we're competitive and we want to win every game, what really matters to me is building men for the future, men who are leaders, men who are husbands, men who are fathers, men who can contribute to the community. And we have a locker room full of those guys that have tremendous character in how they work and how they do everything. And again, their families and their foundation deserves a lot of credit for that. The third piece obviously is on the court. And to me, you know, we live in a day and age in a world where everybody wants to compare this team to that team or last year or another team or something else, or we're supposed to win every game by, 120 to 20. We play great teams, we play great coaches. The other teams are very intentional on what they do as well. But what I can say about our guys on the court is they continue to do the work and they continue to get better. And as much as what we've done up to this point, we know it's about to get a lot harder. We know when you play in the best conference in the country with the best coaches, the best programs, and the best players, you've got to continue to elevate yourself. And the way that the young men in our program work in the classroom, in the community, and on the court every single day is really a lot more of the storyline right now than anything that happened in that game tonight. It's great that we finished non-conference play with the record that we did. We know things are about to get a lot harder. So I just say there's so many narratives out there in terms of all the wrong things in college athletics, all the bad things, the transfer portal, NIL, and things that people want to continuously talk about that are negative. And what I would challenge anybody is to say there's never been a harder time to be a student athlete. There's more pressure, there's more anxiety, there's more comparative culture, there's more mental health, there's more challenges. Because of NIL, everybody thinks these guys they're robots and they have to do different things. And so as much as, the game matters and whatever's happened matters, I think this is a great time to hit reset. And I know there's a lot of great programs out there that have high standards in all these areas and a lot of great coaches. I know, that we're not the only program that has these standards, but I'm really proud of the young men in our program, and they deserve a lot of credit and praise, and so do their families, because in a day and age where everybody tries to figure out all the things that are wrong, I commend the young men in our program for everything that's right. And they're going to be people you want to hire for jobs. They're going to be people that you want to marry your daughter. They're going to be people that if you're an NBA team you want on your roster. They're going to be people that you want as your neighbor. They're going to be people you want in the community that you live in because of who they are as people and the character that they carry themselves, that they carry themselves with each day. So I guess I'm just really proud of our guys. When you have time to reflect over a break, it gives you perspective and allows you to really think about where you're at and what's going on around you. And I have so much admiration for the young men in our locker room and how they work. And our coaches do a great job setting an example every single day. Our strength staff, our training staff, our nutrition staff, everybody does a remarkable job around the program to give our young men a chance to be successful in all areas. But I think the story for tonight, or the story to, wrap up non-conference play, is how you do anything is how you do everything. And the performance in the classroom, the performance in the community are even far greater than what we've done on the court, and we're very proud of what we've done on the court. Questions?
The three pieces you just laid out, I think people look at them as individual categories, but what is the interplay between the
Yeah,
three?
they're all the same thing to me. I mean, I don't want to get into guys' specific academic achievements, but Jay Jeff's had the best semester he's had in college. Guys who are on the dean's list are guys who are playing 30 minutes a game. Those are the guys that set the tone and lead for our program. And all of those things go hand in hand. If you're disciplined as a student, if you're disciplined as a citizen, if you do the right thing on the court, you will do the right thing off the court, if you do the right thing in the classroom. And so to me, it's about standards, it's about accountability, it's about work habits. And all three of those things go hand in hand. You're not going to be one without the other. I have never seen it. And to me, I take tremendous pride in the young men in our program. Understand that if you want to be in this program, all those things, you earn trust and you build character through doing all those things. So they are all one and the same.
You said in your opening statements that you had time to reflect over break. Is there any reason why you chose to reflect over break other than time?
Yeah, I just think games keep coming to you. To me, my job is to pour in the young men in our program, and so investing in that time with them every single day. When you have a few days away and you're with your family and it's late at night or early in the morning and you have time to think about things and say, okay, what's going to be important now? What's going to be important next? And we're always on to the next thing. I think sometimes you have to really look at what's happening and be in the moment and be present. And so for me to be present and put thought to where we're at and what we're doing takes me to a place of appreciation and gratitude for the young men in our program and the work and the choices that they make every single day. I mean, look at Cade Kelderman out there tonight. I mean, winning player, guy who loves being a Cyclone, does all the right things, produces in the classroom, in the community, on the court when his number's called every single time. And so I just think, I think there's so much that's always coming at us, especially in the midst of the season, but you need to take those times and opportunities to look at where you're at, why you're there, what are those standards, and are you continuing to elevate the standards? And I think everything that we're able to do in our 5th year here with the program, there's also a lot of credit to the guys who are in the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th year, because all of those standards continue to be elevated based on the work that others have done before.
To follow up, you talked about the 3 pillars there with Travis. How do you make your players want to do those things at a high level?
When we're in the recruiting process, we talk far more about adversity, building men, the challenges that you're going to endure, the things that are going to be tough, and oftentimes we'll say that if that's not for you, that's fine. But these are going to be the standards, because to me, as much as we're highly competitive and want to win every game, our number one priority in our vocation is to build men for their future so they can be successful in whatever they choose to do. I know for many it's the NBA or professional basketball in Europe, and hopefully all those things come true. For some, it's going to be graduate school. For others, it might be enter the workforce. But for all of them, at some point, there's community, there's husband, there's father, there's leader. There's all these things that they can impact other people in a positive way. And I think it's just, I'm not on social media. I don't pay attention to a lot of what's out there, but I know there's points in time where, you just hear an undertone of everything in this industry or, everything that's wrong. And I think it's really silly not to point out all the great things that are going on around us, because there's been a lot of talk of everything that's not right. So I just wanted to make sure, to do justice by the young men in our program and make sure that there's an inside look, that everybody knows the choices, the decisions, and the things they do every single day, because they should be applauded for that. They're earning that respect. They're rolling up their sleeves. All the life lessons we all learn through sports, they're learning those lessons and applying them every day, and they're going to be tremendous contributors to our society when they move forward long after Iowa State.
TJ, how much validation does it give you seeing that your message over the last 5 years of being detail-oriented and the daily habits have not only translated into basketball success, but also in these other aspects like academic highs and community highs as well?
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of our coaches too, because I think our coaches, we have tremendous character coaches that believe in developing young men and investing in them, the time they put in. And we have guys on our staff that are future head coaches, and they're ready to be head coaches right now, and might happen this spring because of the time and the investment they put in. But the young men that have come into this program and the work that they've continued to do every single day, it's not easy, and we continue to challenge them, do more, fight through those hard things. And so, it's a moment of reflection. It's a time to just think about where we're at, why we're here. On some level, it's a culmination of 5 years of habits and stacking days and habits, and yet we know we have to give so much more for what's about to come at us with Big 12 play. And so I'm excited for that challenge. I know our guys are excited for that challenge. We want to continue to get better and become the best version of ourselves. But that's not just on the basketball court. That's not just with the wins and the losses. That is in the classroom, that is in the community, and that is across the board who we are as people and how we conduct ourselves in all phases. And we will never compromise when it comes to that.
TJ, I know you said that you mentioned the pressure that these kids are under. Joshua Jefferson getting a lot of national accolades. I know you challenged him maybe at the beginning of the year. Have you seen him through this first part of the season? You mentioned his grades. Kind of take that leadership role and kind of take what you kind of put on him in the beginning of the season to kind of, push him maybe to the next level in all areas of his life?
Yeah, no, Joshua has an amazing family, amazing foundation that he brought in. And knowing him since he was 16, I did a lot of Zoom calls at my past stop with him when he was a sophomore, junior in high school during COVID, and could see the connection with his family and the character that he had. So you're always going to believe that those guys that have the passion, the character, they're going to continue to work. And so obviously as we entered into this season, we knew that Joshua had a big step to take, and his leadership, more than even his production on the court, it's his leadership. He's a guy that often has the players over to his house, will cook for the guys on our team. He takes a proactive role in getting our guys together to do things away from basketball. He invests in his teammates. I think he and Blake Buchanan have developed a great chemistry where he likes looking for Blake and getting Blake baskets around the goal. He takes tremendous pride in getting great shots from Milan. So I think his leadership and the character that he shows in all aspects really stands out. He's taken a huge step. And again, we're continuing to ask more of him, and he continues to deliver. And I know, for so many, you look at, social media and compare him to this, or is he up for that award, or is he up for this? And all I want for Joshua is for him to keep being the best version of himself. He doesn't have to try to be anybody else. He doesn't have to try to compete with anyone else's stats or anything that anyone else does. He's an extremely intelligent young man. He's a tremendous worker. He's a tremendous leader. And what we see on the court is just a small piece of Joshua Jefferson. He's amazing on every aspect, and he is a joy to coach.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, TJ.